You're listening to Boudoir Therapy, hosted by Darlene Wong.
I fly over oceans in my sleep.
Join me in my private boudoir, where I raise the volume in the presence of coveted, feminine, and empowering business women I call the Queens.
Why can't we just be? Why can't we just be?
You are not living life if you are not living your inner art. I am so happy to introduce to you a lingerie curator and self-love advocate. The brand is called Alicekass, and it is a lingerie brand that's on a mission to inspire women to connect to their inner goddess and feminine power through self-love and lingerie. Now, behind the scenes, we have today the founder and creative director, Sabrina Cassis. Sabrina, please introduce yourself and tell us, what is your inner art?
My name is Sabrina, and Alicekass is an online store and platform that I use to sort of express myself and connect with my communities. So my passion is that, I would say, is really being able to share my values, my mission with women and connect with them and inspire them to sort of connect with their inner goddess, with their femininity. Alicekass for me was really it was kind of part of my healing journey. So it really was a transformative experience for me. Like, the discovery of lingerie really helped me connect to my femininity. So that's the experience that I want to share with other women as well.
And I guess that living of that inner art created or uncovered your superpower, right? Like, this is where all of this Alicekass brand is being developed from. Can you explain that superpower that you have inside you?
I think my superpower, it's a term that I actually really like using. And I find that a lot of people's superpowers are often connected to that thing that you actually think is like an obstacle in your life, or not necessarily something that is like a positive. So for me, I think it was the fact that I'm super sensitive to, I would say, like energy patterns. Like, I can see things, I guess, and feel things before they happen, and I kind of can see patterns. So as a buyer, when I was I used to be a fashion buyer, I felt like that really helped me a lot. I was really able to kind of see the trends and like feel like what was coming next, so to be able to know what to order and what to purchase. And I feel like for me, the whole sensitivity thing, I used to think it was something that made me, like I was an introvert, and that it was in my way, that I couldn't accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish. So I was always like, oh, I wish I was more extroverted. I wish I didn't feel so much. I wish the energy and the space didn't affect me so much. But at the end of the day, it's actually that thing that sets me apart and that allows me to connect with other people and like really feel things. So I've kind of like flipped it and
you used it to your advantage.
Yeah. So
I'm so proud of you, actually, for sharing that, because it is quite vulnerable, and I find we're lacking a lot of vulnerability in society. People feel ashamed of really saying what they want to say, but just a few things that you mentioned, I feel I can connect with you. I have goosebumps on my arms right now. You said you were always really super sensitive and introvert. And now I see you, half naked and exposing yourself with these awesome pieces of lingerie, which I'm wearing one right now too. I'm wearing the bodysuit. It does make you feel something. I know, I feel it. I work the same way too, but with interior design. It's all about feeling. And I encourage others to listen to what you're saying and hopefully also be inspired by someone like you, because going from one extreme to the other and in a very positive, exposed way, it should, and I know it will, help motivate and inspire many women.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, right? I feel there was something really important about putting it out there. And like you spoke of vulnerability, and that's like a huge part of what I do. Is it does help you to make yourself vulnerable. It helps other people and it helps you. So like Alicekass has been a platform as much as it helps other women. It's helped me so much, and I never used to, be comfortable putting myself like on the internet, taking selfies, things like being in lingerie. Even just lingerie itself was something I always believed was for like another type of woman. Like I never felt like, oh, like not that I didn't deserve it, but I was like, oh, I'm single, or I'm not that type of woman that's super comfortable with her body or exposing herself or her sexuality. And then it's kind of like the messages that we received from society and from traditional marketing was that, oh, it's for a man, it's for this reason, it's for that reason. And then when I discovered it, I realized that it could be just for me, and it did connect me to my femininity. And that was something I really thought was important to share. And again, like you said, the whole vulnerability thing and being authentic, like, we have this message that women need to be perfect all the time, or that they need to, you don't want to show like the struggle as much. And I think it's so important. There's so much of that like facade on Instagram, and everyone thinking that, everyone just sharing the highlights. And I think it's so important to show the journey. So that's why like podcasts like this are great, because you get to really connect with someone and understand that like, yeah, it wasn't always easy, and that they do have a story, and they, people look at me and they're like, oh, she must have always been comfortable doing this. And it's like, no, I was like a tomboy. I was really shy. Like, and
you look really comfortable doing it though. Congratulations.
But it wasn't always like that. And it was a big struggle. And it's only been since, I would say, this spring that I've even been able to do Instagram stories and like speaking. Like I had a really hard time sharing vocally as well. Like using my voice was like I had a big barrier with that. I had a fear of being seen. I had a fear of taking up space. So like this is really a platform where women can feel comfortable taking up that space and communicating. Like I have women who will send me selfies of themselves in lingerie, and I'll repost them. I'll try to repost as much as I can, because for them it's like they're too shy, or they don't feel necessarily comfortable doing it. But when they see me doing it, they're like, oh, okay, here's a safe space for me to like share that side of myself without fear of judgment, without fear of people being like, oh, she just wants attention or this or that. Like I really believe that women should have the right to celebrate themselves, their bodies, their sexuality, and not be judged for it. And it's a part of being a woman, that I think is so important to connect with. So
it is, and you can really sense just in your tone. There's a lot of acceptance. You finally accepted that you are a woman, and you were a tomboy, right? You said this was definitely never in like your future plans to be doing something like this, but you are rocking it. You're so good at it.
Thanks so much. I was always into fashion and stuff, but I feel like lingerie is so apart in its own world, and it's really about women, and it's really about women connecting to themselves. So I feel like there is a resistance for a lot of people. But then once you discover it, you're just like, oh my God, this world is magical. So
it is. And good for you, because it really isn't easy. And it is very easy for people to just look at your videos or your website and say, oh, well, this is really easy for her. Like it looks like she's been doing it forever. And the whole point of having a show like this is to really get to know the people behind the scenes, because it allows people to recognize them as normal human beings who they might actually be able to connect with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And then they'll look at you and say, well, she was like that. I'm like that. Oh, she did this now? Oh, I think I can do it too. How did she do it? Oh, she found herself, like you say, a platform. It's an outlet for you to take everything that you've ever wanted to inner express and now outer express, but not just for you, for everyone, because you're so excited to share the good news.
Yes, exactly. Wow, that's perfect.
I'm telling you, I feel it too. The first time that we met at the Goddess Experience in the wintertime, I looked at, all the people that were there during the launch evening, and I looked at all the lingerie. I met with all the girls as well too, but I didn't dare to say, oh, maybe I'll just try one of these things on. And when you posted something else on Instagram not too long ago, I said, okay, maybe I'll feel more comfortable because it's in her home, and I'll feel safe, I guess. And then I got out of there with like a bag full of your lingerie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it really works. It really works.
Like, no, and I saw you light up as soon as you put it on. And that's the thing. It's nice to have people in my home to do the private shopping, because it is a comfortable space. Like, they feel a lot more comfortable. It's private, it's one-on-one. And lingerie is a very intimidating world, and it's very vulnerable, and you are putting yourself out there, and it's like, it's your body, and we have so much, like, every woman has, like hang-ups about their body, or like how they should look and all that. So it is it's a very touchy kind of subject. So for sure, that's why, people are always like, do you want a store one day? And I'm like, no, I find it not intimate to have a store. Like, I like this one-on-one, and I like it. People want to shop online too, and in the comfort of their home. But when you came over, it was amazing. I had no idea that it wasn't something you always did, because you seemed so comfortable, and I saw you really truly light up as soon as you put it on. You're like, wow, like, the way you interact, it's such a beautiful moment. I wish I could record that moment that every woman has, like when she puts it on and sees herself the first time. Like, that's like the magical moment,
you definitely sprinkled some kind of fairy dust onto your stuff for sure, because it feels so good. And you know what? I have, when I wasn't single, I did buy myself lingerie, but nothing compared to what you offer. And I liked it, but this one was just, I'm single. I have 2 kids. I've got stretch marks. My belly's never going to be the same again. And, I just thought, that would just look really horrible on me. But once I put it on, I said, what the hell? Like, I'm doing this for me.
Yeah. You recognize that. You're like, oh, like, this is me.
Right.
I like it, and I'm proud of it, Yeah, there is something that it just elevates, it just boosts you. It's really, yeah.
Yeah. And I've been sneaking in like your lingerie underneath all my sophisticated clothing when I go meet people. So I'm like, I know I have it on, but they don't, but I still feel good. And like it's nice.
No one needs to even know other than you. You knowing gives you that little like extra boost, and you feel confident, and you're like, I have my little secret, and it makes you feel good. So
yeah, it really helps to just keep reconnecting with me. Like, I have no one else to show this off to but me.
Yeah, and it's nice.
Bang. Like, wow.
And you feel empowered by that even. You're like, oh, no one needs to see it for me to feel good. And it connects you to your senses, and it connects you to your body, and it's something that I think we forget about. If you catch yourself in the mirror and you see your little strap, you're like, oh, right. Like, okay, I'm here. It's me. I'm a woman, like you have that little reminder.
What you're doing is quite incredible and really inspirational, but I bet it's not that easy. I want you to just explain to us or give us an idea of what your support system looks like in order for Alicekass to stay alive.
Well, I have a lot of incredible women around me. Throughout the years, it's been... of course, my sister is always there for me, which is great. She's like, we live together, we work together, we're always together. So she's like my best friend, and I get to bounce ideas on her. Yeah, so that's really great. And then throughout the years, I think it's also been about like building a community of other, like, as much as the people who like follow on Instagram, who are part of that, like, they're super supportive. And then just the people that I've collaborated with, the other women that are entrepreneurs that are kind of going through the same thing, is really important to me. And I have, like lately, the past few months, I've been doing this Sunday night, I guess, like goddess circle kind of thing, where it's my sister and 2 of my other friends. We get together and we do like tarot reading, goddess card readings, and like, yeah, it's really nice, and like a meditation. And we kind of like talk about the things we want to release and the things we want to call in. So it's like a little ritual that we have. And that has been really huge for me. I feel it's just nice to have like a safe space where you can really open up, be vulnerable, and feel that like support from other women. So as much as it's not necessarily about business, it's just nice to feel able to be completely authentic and open, and then have that support and love from other women with no judgment. Because I know, typically people think, oh, women are so competitive, this and that. Like, I've never had that experience. I've always kind of been a girl's girl. So it's so important for me to like be surrounded by that and kind of have that. And so I definitely encourage like everyone to, if they can, to like do something like that. It's been like really impactful. So it's just the women, I would say, that I surround myself with that have really helped.
So it seems as if your awakening has attracted the kind of women and clients who have been looking for someone like you to bring out this part of them, because it's hard to do what you're doing, but you're doing it because you believe that it's going to help and heal others.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it is.
You need to recognize that. It's awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean, of course, there's moments of doubt and there's moments of there's always ups and downs and stuff, but it's always coming back to that mission, right? To be like, I obviously believe in it and I know it has a positive impact on people. So,
how do you deal with guilt and doubt and fear? Like, give us just maybe one tip or, something that you do.
I think it's all the self-care practices that I've learned actually through doing this that have been really important for me. I think first is just like taking care of like your mental health. Like for me, mental and physical, like for me, like running has been huge to keep me like, just get rid of all the like energy, and like I'm always thinking and doing a million things at once. So like when I run, it's like, okay,
I get you.
Right? It's a form of meditation, and then also meditating has been really huge for me, and just quieting my mind and like being calm and like trusting my intuition and looking inwards.
When was your last run?
Oh my gosh, I went last week. Like, no, it was on Saturday. It was like our nice day. It was like 3 degrees or something.
Oh,
so
yes.
I don't know. So I actually
Montreal summer.
Yeah, right. So that was really nice, and it's hard in the winter. It's been a bit hard because it's been icy, but normally I run throughout the winter, and because I can't do without it. It's really, really been really crucial for me. What else is, journaling. Journaling is a really big one. I find that a lot. And then just being able to like talk with other women going through similar stuff again is important. So I would say like connect to your intuition, like look inside, and then also just not being super hard on yourself and understanding that there's going to be ups and downs, and having faith that like when you're in that down, it's a learning experience, taking what you can from it, and then knowing that it's going to come up again. That's the cycle of life. Like everything is up and down. So it's kind of just trusting that. And
slipping on like an Alicekass lingerie to just help boost that a little faster.
For sure. That's like my favorite. It's funny. Like I'm always like, thinking of everything I have to do and like super busy and this and that. But once I actually put like lingerie on, and when I want to relax, I'll literally put lingerie on, like take selfies, listen to music, like I don't know what it is about doing that actually gets me in the moment and like forgetting about everything. I'm not worried. I'm just like having fun, taking photos, doing videos, whatever. It is one of the most relaxing things that I do.
No, it's not funny. I think you've managed to really create a connection and an experience between your product and you. You're one.
Yeah, it's true. It's interesting because like Alicekass obviously is not even my real name, like, but I've become her over time. I'm like, okay, she's my alter ego, and I'm sort of actually so it is super personal, and everything that I'm learning, I'm sharing also, so it's
and I think it's really important to share. I find I was brought up in an environment where, you hush about a lot of things. And I've decided to break free from those kind of patterns. And I said, well, no, I mean, if I don't share my experiences or my thoughts and my ideas, then someone might just repeat, the same mess that I went through. And I'm like, I don't really feel right about that.
Yeah, no, it is. If we're aware, it is kind of our responsibility to like break those generational generational patterns or make those changes. If we're aware of them, like that's, like not everyone is, and we're there. And if we know we have, like, we should be able to do something. So it's great that you're actually taking that on as well, making those changes.
2019 is the year for us to voice our voice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's about time,
Oh yeah, taking up space, using our voices. That was actually my 2018 intention, was to use my voice.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I did that, and with the stories and everything. So, and 2019, I really wanted to focus on like patience and pleasure. So like slowing down and enjoying the moment. That was like my big mission, So
since you said 2019, let me go to one of my final questions. What do you deserve from life, and how will you make that happen in 2019?
Oh boy, I think it's pleasure. It's
That's why I was like, I think this fits right in.
Yeah, for
pleasure
sure.
and patience.
It honestly, because it's, we get so fixated on the outcome, on the results, on our goals, and we forget to live in the moment and to be connected. And that's what lingerie also is about. It's connecting to your body, connecting to the moment. I think like being in our bodies and like aware of our senses and all that is so important, because we're always rushing and we're forgetting that like our life is now, and we deserve to be good, and we deserve to be happy, and we deserve all the things that we desire, just because we're here. It's our right to enjoy, and we have so much guilt around that as women. We're always thinking that we have to do everything for everyone else, and it's really about taking that back, reclaiming our power, and saying, no, like, this is what I want, this is what I deserve.
Like, you're not on this planet for someone else, right? You're here for you. Yes, you have family, you have friends, and you share the time and the experiences with them, but they're still you. They're still the entire part of you that exists.
For sure. And if you don't make yourself a priority, like, the more you love yourself and put energy into yourself, the more everyone around you benefits, right? If you're following your passion and you're doing what your mission is, like, the more you do that, everyone around you is either inspired or they benefit from like all the amazing things that you're doing. So it's in everyone's interest for you to like follow your truth and be the best version of yourself you can be.
I love it. Do you own a queen's chair?
No, I do not, but I've sat in it and it's amazing. It really, and like, I love it because I love what I love this idea of the throne, and like, really it's a perfect, the way that lingerie is a tool to sort of express that femininity and taking up space and feeling worthy. Like, this chair is like another perfect like symbol of sitting on that throne, putting like deservingness, like saying like, oh, I deserve this space. Like, I deserve to be worshipped as a goddess, Yeah. It's perfect. I feel like our brand aligned. It's really nice.
Thank you. I found we really have a few values that align, and that's why I do respect what you're doing. I use what you're doing to kind of help fuel me sometimes, because I'm like, no, it's not just me doing this. There's Sabrina also, and I know other women as well too. And you know what? Power to them. And if they've got power, like, rub some of that power onto me, because I need it too.
Absolutely, we all do. We all need other women that are forging their own paths and inspiring the others to do the same and to take up that space. So yeah, it's beautiful. Your work is amazing.
Last thing.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, actually, I do. So we talked a lot about the feminine and all that. I wanted to know, what makes you feel you're most feminine, or the most like a woman? Or was there a moment that, like, a first moment you felt that, or?
I'm thinking because there are several times that now I have learned that is femininity. I feel like I was, I don't know, that part of me was sucked out, or I was rebelling against it, because myself too, I was very like skater kind of girl and raver style. Like it was a mix between those two.
Oh my God.
And yeah.
I had no idea because you're so like, lax now and like
totally different. I did have someone mention to me, it was my feng shui teacher. She knew me a few years back and not that long ago, maybe in the last 10 years. And she said, whoa, you like completely opened up. And I said, yeah, that's a good thing, right? And so I found I felt the most feminine when I did my first boudoir photo shoot. It was the scariest thing I had ever done, but I felt so sexy and I hadn't felt like that in a long time, especially with all the baby carrying and like the poops and the vomits and the stinkiness and the no sleep and the baggy eyes. It was just, it was a moment that I decided to give myself, and it was the most empowering feminine revival of who I want to be and what I want to teach other women.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really nice because it's crazy. Like women just in general, we neglect that side of ourselves and we forget. And it's so nice when you're able to reconnect to that.
Mm-hmm.
And photo shoots are such an amazing way to do it. And it is scary. So scary.
Oh my gosh. I had so much wine. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I know what I want to do. Yeah. And that's actually how
we have that fear, right? Of like saying like, oh, I'm worthy of being photographed. Like that's actually my tagline, kind of like one of my hashtags is be your own muse.
Yes.
And if you go with the chairs too, it's really about like saying, hey, I'm worthy of being a muse, and I don't need a man or another artist or someone to say like, yeah, you could be my muse. It's like, I'm going to be my own muse.
Right. Yeah, you go, girl. That's it.
I fly over oceans in my sleep.
If you enjoyed the voice of Boudoir Therapy, please leave your review on iTunes. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and every Tuesday is Social Tuesday. I'll be active on social media if you have any questions. And don't forget the Full Moon Special. Listen in a little bit closer to my story. Want to personalize your boudoir therapy experience? Visit www.darlenewong.com under DW Boutique to purchase your copy of Boudoir Therapy, a self-deserving journal made by me just for you. And never, never stop living your inner art. Because you deserve it.